Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anthony Gamer and I am Red the Fox, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing arcade beat-em-up games from the 90s. Double Dragon is considered one of the first beat-em-up games, and some even have said that it saved the video game industry when it was released in 1997. I don't know if all that's true, but it sure was a financial success, and it gained critical acclaim. That's true. And it did help to jumpstart the beat-em-up genre. Some of the games that are going to be discussed today are licensed titles or original. It just depends. And some of these were ported several times, and some of them were never ported. Today we're going to be discussing quite a few of those games. However, some games are going to be left out, such as The Simpsons, X-Men, Double Dragon 2, and Renegade. Oh yeah, because those first ones we already talked about in other episodes, and we're going to do Renegade and Double Dragon 2 on their own. That's correct.
And our first game for today is Final Fight, released by Capcom in 1989. Now, if Double Dragon is the grandfather of beat-em-up games, then this game has to be his little brother. Alright, in this game you take on the role of one of three people. You have Hagar, who is the mayor of Metro City and a former professional wrestler, Cody, and then Guy, who's Cody's best friend / rival, and they're trying to rescue the mayor's daughter, Jessica, who's been kidnapped by the Mad Gear Gang, led by Belger, who has turned Metro City into a haven for criminals. You have two players simultaneously if you choose, and this game has 6 rounds with 2 bonus rounds. This game has gone on to develop quite a following. There have been several sequels, some spin-offs, and the characters from this game have been featured in other fighting games. Now we're going to talk about a licensed game, and what better game could that be than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? This was released by Konami in 1989. At that time, the Turtles were the big thing, starting in the late 80s and going well into the 90s. Matter of fact, they're still around today. This was a real popular cartoon series, comic book series for the kids at that time. They were on just about every type of merchandise available. Now, in this game, you play one of the 4 turtles. You can have up to 4-player co-op, and you're doing things the turtles do. Rescue April O'Neil, rescue Master Splinter, and try to defeat the Foot Clan and the forces of Krang. Now, as that game was such a financial success and received critical acclaim, it made sense that they were going to make a sequel. So 2 years later they did. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, released in 1991. In this game, Splinter has come back and he has kidnapped the Statue of Liberty. And now he sent the Turtles back in time, and they have to come back to where the time period they belonged in so that they can defeat Shredder and rescue the Statue of Liberty. In the late 80s and into the 90s, the whole idea of mutant characters was quite popular thanks to the Turtles. And so a lot of other cartoon studios and comic book and game people decided to try to make their own. And that is where they came up with the idea for Battletoads. In this game, you take on the role of Pimple, Zitz, and Rash, and you are trying to defeat the Dark Queen. When this game was created, the company Rare and Tradewest were told that this game was not going to be ported, so therefore they didn't have the restrictions that that Konami did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Therefore, this game is a lot more violent than the Turtles game. There is more blood, there is more violence, and like one of the ways to fight some of the guys is you got to hit them in the nuts. But anyway, this franchise didn't really catch on like they thought it would. However, as time went on, The Battletoads did gain a cult following, and from what I hear, a new game is on the horizon. And next up, from 1993, we have Capcom's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Now, this game was based on an animated series. Unfortunately, by the time the game was released, the animated series was already gone. In this game, you take on the role of 4 different people, and again, you have 4-player co-op on this one if you like. You take on the roles of Jack, Hannah, Mustafa, and Mers, and you are fighting against this evil scientist lab kind of guy who is trying to enslave dinosaurs. Yeah, so you're in the 25th century here, and somehow dinosaurs have been brought back, and you guys are trying to stop this evil scientist from turning them into some kind of slaves and machines so that he can take over the world. And next up, from 1997, we have Capcom's Battle Circuit. Now, this would be the final beat-em-up game that Capcom would make for arcades. As cool as this game is, strangely enough, it wasn't released in North America for some reason. Right you are, I don't know why they didn't either. Now, in this game, you take on the role of one of 5 bounty hunters. And you are being sent around the galaxy to beat up and arrest these different types of crime bosses. Now, you have the choice of 1 to 5 players and can have up to 2 players co-op. Alright, and next up we have Vendetta from 1991 by Konami. In this game, you take on the role of a gang called the Cobras, and you are fighting against the Dead End Gang, who are basically trying to extend their turf into your turf, and so therefore you are trying to stop them. Has a pretty cool story mode. Now, you have the choice of 1 of 4 different characters with distinct different fighting styles, and you can have up to 4 players play co-op on this one. And our final game for today is probably one of the most bizarre, but yet probably the most fun I've ever had of any games on this list, and that was Iron Corporation's Ninja Baseball Batman from 1993. This one, you have up to 2 players, and you have a choice of 4 different robots, I guess, to choose from. You have Captain Jose, Twin Bats Rhino, Beanball Roger, and Stick Straw. Now, in this game, the Baseball Hall of Fame has hired you to recover stolen artifacts and get them back to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, this game was a big hit in Japan, a big, tremendous hit. However, it pretty much went mostly ignored in North America. But in recent years, it's kind of developed a cult following. In next week's episode, we're going to have an arcade versus port AVP of Burger Time.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that little bell icon down there at the bottom so you'll be notified when I upload new episodes. Well, I'm Anthony Gamer, and I'm Red the Fox, and we will see you all really soon. Till then, have yourselves a great day. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.